Welcome back to my channel, where today we're going to be taking this old, very heavily loved entry table and just kind of dress her up a little bit. So this piece actually used to belong to my grandmother, and it has been across the United States twice. It used to function as a little storage table in my grandmother's kitchen. Then it was a little table in my house. And then when I went out to California, it was actually both my kitchen countertop as well as my dining room table because, studio spaces are very small. Now it is my entry table, but it just doesn't quite fit what I want. And as I said before, it's heavily loved. So let's get started and get her fixed up. The first thing I'm going to do is wipe my entire piece down with hot water and Dawn dish soap. You can use another cleaner, but Dawn dish soap is a little bit gentler on your hands, and it's something that I already have here in the house. So I'm going to wipe this whole piece down with Dawn dish soap and hot water, and then I'm going to follow it up with just plain hot water. You always want to follow up with plain water after you wash to help remove any sort of soap residue that could prevent your paint from sticking. And in case you didn't already notice, I got a little excited and forgot to take my hardware off. I like to take my hardware off at the beginning of a project just to go ahead and clean whatever's underneath that hardware, but that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this now, and I'll wipe down these drawer fronts here in just a minute. The next thing I'm going to do is give my entire piece a good sand with my DEWALT Random Orbital Sander with 120 grit sandpaper. Now, let me tell you, if you are a DIYer on a budget like me, this is the best possible sander that you can get your hands on. They run for about $100 at places like Home Depot or Lowe's, or better yet, you can even order this straight to your door from Amazon. I'll leave a link down in the description box. And this is where it gets really fun, but also really messy. So I knew I wanted some sort of texture on these drawer faces. I wasn't really quite sure what I was looking for, but I decided to just kind of figure it out as I go. This is just regular drywall spackle, and I'm just using this popsicle stick to smear it on. And then I'll be using a paint spatula to start making my designs. And while I wait for my spackle to dry on my drawer fronts, I'm going to go ahead and make any sort of minor repairs that I need to. To be totally honest, I don't know why I'm wearing a respirator in this video. I definitely don't need a respirator to be working with wood filler like this. I think I must have been sanding something and then just totally forgot. So with that being said, this is a great product. You do not have to wear a respirator. Yeah. I don't know. Fast forward to the next morning, my drawer faces are ready to be sanded. I'm just going to use 120 grit sandpaper to go along the edges of where I did my spackle because I want these edges to be nice and smooth and crisp. And now that everything's been sanded, it's time to start priming. This is my all-time favorite primer. This is Zinsser Bin Shellac oil-based primer. Now, since it's oil-based, you do have to throw away everything that you use to apply. That's the only downside, but it does really good with coverage and bleed through. For easy cleanup, I'm just using a bowl tucked into a Home Depot bag along with a 4-inch foam roller. And then when I'm done, I'm just going to pop my gloves off, turn the Home Depot bag inside out, and I'm done. This is by far my favorite method when I'm working with oil-based primers. And now we're ready for the part we've all been waiting for, the paint. So I'm going to use my Zibra round brush. This is my favorite brush from Zibra. I like the way it fits in my hand, and it also is really, really good for getting around these little spindle, small little legs. It prevents any sort of runs along the opposite side that you're working on. Helps me get along the edges really, really nicely, and it just helps create a really seamless finish. And the color I'm using is Coal Black by Fusion Mineral Paint. This color is so rich and smooth and, dare I say, fun. I know black isn't a fun color, but to me, black's a fun color. And as amazing as this round Zebra brush is, also the 2-inch Palm Pro brush by Zibra is equally amazing. I'll link it below. I wanted a really fresh monochromatic finish on my entire piece, so I am just going to put a little bit of this Rust-Oleum black satin spray paint over these knobs, let those dry, and then I'll pop them back on. And now I'm just using my 2-inch Zebra Palm Pro to brush over this textured drawer face. I quickly realized that it wasn't getting into all the tiny little crevices, so I'm just going to brush the majority on, and then I'm going to go back and just kind of stipple in to make sure I get all the little nooks and crannies. And now that my drawer faces are finished, I'm just going to use my DEWALT drill to drill out this hardware hole. That way I have a place to set my hardware and to screw it in from the inside. And now to wrap it up, we're going to be using the General Finishes flat top coat. This top coat is my absolute favorite. It has a really nice matte finish without any sort of brush strokes or streakiness or hazy kind of cloudy aftercoat. So this is absolutely amazing. And I love, love, love the way that this goes on, especially with the Zebra round brush. So I'll also link that here below. And now let's get ready for the before and the afters. Here's the before. And here's the after. What do you guys think? I personally love this textured look. It's super unique, super original, and I just love the way this piece is going to look in my living room. Would you try this technique? If so, let me know down in the comments and be sure to tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see your finished product.